Hi, Tukwila Tigers. Welcome to Mrs. White's At Home Read Alouds. Make sure you have a pencil and paper or a sibling or adult to talk to. Today we're going to read a book by Lio Lionni, which I already read you a book by Lio Lionni. It was called Frederick. This book is called Fish is Fish. So this is another Lio Lionni favorite. Fish is Fish. At the edge of the woods there was a pond, and there a minnow and a tadpole swam along the weeds. They were inseparable friends. One morning, the tadpole discovered that during the night he had grown 2 little legs. "Look," he said triumphantly. "Look, I am a frog." "Nonsense," said the minnow. "How could you be a frog if only last night you were a little fish, just like me?" They argued and argued until finally the tadpole said, "Frogs are frogs, and fish is fish, and that's that." I want you to pause and think for a second. Have you ever gotten in an argument with a friend? How did you solve the problem? How do you think the frog and the fish could solve this problem? All right, let's find out. In the weeks that followed, the tadpole grew tiny front legs, and his tail got smaller and smaller. And then, one fine day, a real frog now, he climbed out of the water and onto the grassy bank. The minnow too had grown and become a full-fledged fish. He often wondered where his 4-footed friend had gone, but days and weeks went by, and the frog did not return. He looks kind of sad. Then one day, with a happy splash that shook the weeds, the frog jumped into the pond. "Where have you been?" asked the fish excitedly. "I have been about the world, hopping here and there," said the frog, "and I have seen extraordinary things." Look how excited they are to see each other. What's going on here? "Like what?" asked the fish. "Birds," said the frog mysteriously. "Birds." And he told the fish about the birds, who had wings and 2 legs and many, many colors. As the frog talked, his friend saw the birds fly through his mind like large feathered fish. "What else?" asked the fish impatiently. Look, you can see this is what the fish is thinking that birds look like. So I want you to stop and think for a second. Why do you think the fish thinks that birds look like fish with wings? Go ahead and press pause. "Cows," said the frog. "Cows. They have 4 legs, horns, eat grass, and carry pink bags of milk." And look at the fish imagining, and look how the cow still kind of looks like a fish. "And people," said the frog. "Men, women, children." And he talked and talked until it was dark in the pond. But the picture in the fish's mind was full of lights and colors and marvelous things, and he couldn't sleep. If he could only jump about like his friend and see the wonderful world. Look at, this is his imagining people. And still look kind of like fish. Oh wow, look at the world he's imagining in his head. And so the days went by. The fish had gone, the frog had gone, and the fish just lay there, dreaming about birds in flight, grazing cows, and those strange animals all dressed up that his friend called people. One day, he finally decided that come what may, he too must see them. And so, with a mighty whack of the tail, he jumped clear out of the water and onto the bank. A fish jumping out of the water? Stop and think. What do you think will happen when the fish jumps onto the bank? Go ahead and press pause. Let's find out. He landed on the dry, warm grass, and there he lay, gasping for air, unable to breathe or to move. "Help," he groaned feebly. Oh man, fish don't have lungs. They can't breathe air like we can. They have gills. They breathe water. So he can't breathe out in the air. Luckily, the frog, who had been hunting butterflies nearby, saw him, and with all his strength pushed him back into the pond. Wow, what a true friend. Still stunned, the fish floated about for an instant. Then he breathed deeply, letting the clean, cool water run through his gills. Now he felt weightless again, and with an ever so slight motion of the tail, he could move to and fro, up and down, as before. The sunrays reached down within the weeds and gently shifted patches of luminous color. This world was surely the most beautiful of all worlds. He smiled at his friend the frog, who sat watching him from a lily leaf. "You are right," he said. "Fish is fish." And that, my friends, is the end of the story. One more time, I want you to stop and think. What lesson did the fish learn? How have his feelings about being a fish in a pond changed from earlier in the book to the end of the book? Go ahead and press pause. All right, tigers, I hope you enjoyed Fish is Fish by Lio Lionni, and I hope you're doing really well. I hope you're healthy and safe, and I miss you. Bye.